such an asshole.
Good morning, children. It's the old Capmeister here, and by old I do mean old because Cappy has been working on the house. I went for an 11-mile hike yesterday, which was actually not that much elevation gain, so it wasn't that strenuous of a hike. But, 11 miles of anything, you're like, ooh, hey, bedtime. And we have a Clarey test request for 3 people. Hey, Cappy, how much in total for a Clarey test on Anthony Cumia, Gregg Hughes, and Jim Norton? Let me know, and I'll send payment if it's reasonably priced. So, all right, sounds good. So let's take a look at Anthony Cumia. I think he's, I've heard of him before. He's Ed and Anthony, or radio show host. Anthony Cumia. He looks like a character. He looks like Peter Norrie a little bit, now that I think about it. And Anthony, that's the thing. Okay, so let's go here. Born 1961, American radio personality and broadcaster who is best known as the co-host with Gregg Opie Hughes on the Opie and Anthony radio show, which aired from 1995 until 2014. The show featured comedian Jim Norton beginning in 2001. 2014, Cumia was fired because he exercised his freedom of speech. Was fired by Sirius XM Radio after posting a series of racially charged and hate-filled tweets. So see, I'm wondering, because if you go on the Wikipedia for Stefan Molyneux, it was like extreme right-wing racist white supremacist. Like, wait, really? I didn't get that from him. I've listened to him a long time. Is this what the journos told us about him? Is this what those independent-minded journos said? He started his own video podcast soon named The Anthony Cumia Show, which aired until September 2017 when he started The Artie and Anthony Show with comedian Artie Lang. May 2018, Artie Lang left the show and was replaced by David Landau. The show's name reverted to The Anthony Cumia Show. Okay, so he's working. What's he got, 15 years on me? So he's in his, 60, there he is. Man, he's thin. Let's go early lights. Born in Queens, Italian-American family. He has an older brother, Joe, younger sister. Family lived in various locations on Long Island. Timber Point. After his parents separated, spent his teenage years living with his father in San Juan Capistrano, California. Before he started his career in radio, installed heating vent. He was an HVAC guy. Look at that. He wanted to get into radio, influenced by Howard Stern and Don Imus. Okay, so he's got real work experience. He didn't go to college, so that's good. So he's probably an interesting person. Probably didn't come from wealth, because if you're in Queens, that's not. Let me make sure. Is that New York? Flushing's Queen. It's one of the boroughs. North Central. Yeah, all right. So he didn't grow up in wealth. Broken family. No college. Worked a real man's job, and he's been working ever since. He gets a perfect score. Would I like to have a beer with him? Hell yes. Never listened to one episode of their show. Not because I don't like him, just never had time. People are like, oh, you tune into this, guys? There's so much good talent out there. Even better than me. And what I also like about this guy is the big employer. Right. I'm like, all right, internet, start my own. Don't need you, boomer. Is Sirius XM, is that even a thing anymore? Do people even tune into that? So we got that. All right. So I would like to have a beer with him. He gets a perfect score on the Clarey test. Should he run for office? Yeah, sure. Assuming he's not an actual racist, racially charged, hate-filled. Okay, journals. What did he say? Hey, maybe y'all aren't majoring dumb shit? Was that what he said? What would he say? So far, yeah. But that's kind of the career path of every radio personality. But that really has to be a hobby. You can't do that as your main gig unless you get really successful, like Rush Limbaugh or Howard Stern. Gregg Hughes. Let's look up Gregg Hughes. Sorry this one took so long. Cappy is working a lot. Gregg Hughes, born 1963, better known as air name Opie, is an American. Yeah, he does look like Opie. Yeah, okay. Is an American radio personality and podcast host, best known for his former co-host, The Opie and Anthony Show, aired 1995 to 2014 with Anthony Cumia and comedian Jim Norton. From 2014 to 2016, Hughes and Norton stayed at SiriusXM as co-host of Opie with Jim Norton. Until 2016, Hughes became the host of his own show, The Opie Radio Show, which lasted until his firing. Of course, yeah. Look, guys, don't even bother with radio. I don't know why Rogan went with anyone. Like, no, I'm doing this. Bye. I'll keep all the money. Hang on, I'm gonna kill this fly. I don't think I got him. Yeah, don't ever work for anybody in radio. And if you are, you just assume you're getting fired. I remember they brought people on for like a whole month at a radio station. Then they completely switched formats, went all sports. It was, I think they had like 3 different shows that covered the Twins, because the Twins had a new stadium. And oh my God, it was just a bunch of middle-aged old white dudes who were fat and maybe played baseball at one time many years ago. But oh God, it was just sports this and sports that. We're gonna talk about sports. And then everyone got fired. And then the sports people came in, and then the internet happened. And it was great. Hughes launched his own podcast, the Opie Radio Podcast, on the Westwood One Network. The podcast was available until June 2019. So that was like a year. All right. Born in an Irish-American family, raised in Center Point, New York on Long Island. His described mother's pretty strict, nicknamed Opie because of childhood resemblance of Opie Taylor. 81 graduated from Harbor Fields and Green Lawn. His yearbook lists basketball, New York Islanders hockey team, skiing. So he wished for a career in radio, graduated with a degree in communications. Center Point, New York. That's not Queens. It's a nice area. Notably affluent North Shore, formerly known as the Gold Coast. Yeah, he came from wealth. If skiing is one of your hobbies as a child, you came from wealth. So he gets a point against him. He has a degree in communications. No, you're not that old of a boomer. You get punished. I have a feeling his career path is going to be the same. Promotions, working morning show. Mentor, midnight a.m., 6 a.m. shift. All right, he worked hard. He has real world working experience. He worked the dog shift. Helping Anthony, and he's been working ever since. Personal life. Where did I see that? Personal. Dated. Oh, they're married. Wow. All right. So would I have a beer with him? Yeah. Should he run for office? As always, better than the current people running now. I don't know. He didn't do HVAC. If you threw in a stint in the military, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But no, I don't think so. No, I don't think he should run for office. That's too easy. I know he worked hard. He worked the overnight shift, but there's no what's the word I'm looking for? I always screw it. Rite of passage. There was no forging process with Gregg. No offense to the guy. Sounds like a cool guy. That's why I'd like to have a beer with him. All right. And then the next one is Jim Norton. I'm thinking, who's the actor Norton? Not Jim Norton. Howard Norton. Who is? He looks like me. Jim Norton, comedian. Born 1968, American comedian, radio person, actor, author, and television podcast host. Norton has been the co-host of the podcast UFC Unfiltered with Matt Serra and The Morning Show, Jim Norton and Sam Roberts on Sirius XM since 2018. The Chipperson Pie. Hey, that sounds like Chad Chadwickson or Thaddeus McThaddeus' son. I wonder if they're all the same guys since 2017. Gained initial prominence as third mic on the radio show Opie and Anthony with Gregg, Opie, Anthony Howard Hughes, 2001 to 2014. That's a long-running show. After becoming a stand-up comedian in 1990, Norton spent early years developing his act, The Louis Show, Andrew Dice Clay, just going through his history of his career. 4 albums. Wow. And Netflix, well, he's a hustler. Films, book, he does it all. Okay. Born in Bayonne, New Jersey. Mother was a librarian and father was the former U.S. Marine and Army Reserves. Later worked as a driver for the U.S. Postal Service. All right, he didn't come from wealth. That's pretty blue-collar upbringing. Attended North Brunswick High School, from which he dropped out his senior year. Smart guy. Ironically, that means you're smart. And look at the amount of hustle and work he has. During this time at age 13, Norton started to drink heavily, mostly vodka and grain alcohol because it got him much drunker. That feeling of discomfort that was always there wasn't there when I drank. It was just a way of feeling comfortable. It was horribly insecure, shy, ugly, weak. At 16, started to cut himself with a razor blade. Attempted attention seeking. It was notice me. That's usually what it is. They have some kind of mental issue. Well, yes, but it's also just their attention horse. Look, I got a tattoo on my face. I dyed my hair blue. This might be a story of a guy who wakes up and turns it around, because you can't work like that and have that level of production if you're all that hammered. I was 16, 17 and drunk. I never did that stuff sober. He then missed some schooling, including his graduation. After his alarmed parents sent him to a rehab facility for 1 month where he continued to sneak in alcohol, but changed his thinking and completed the course at 18. When he was away, his class had voted him class clown. Norton had his last drink New Year's Eve 1985, going in 1986, and he has been alcohol and drug-free ever since. Well, good for him. Norton's addictive personality began to direct it towards sex after he got sober. You can never get rid of the beast. And everybody, every man, woman, and child, everybody needs a vice. Everyone. No one. I got to listen to this guy. This guy has got to have some really good content out there. After being sober for around years, obtained his GED, attended college, aimed pursuing a degree, and becoming a lawyer. How old is he? I'm going to say worthless degree because he went to school later. This was in the 80s now. But quit after 1 month. Smart man. There you go. He earned a B grade in English and fails in problems and statistics science of Western civilization. At 18, he took up work at a copper company, operating a forklift to unload boxes of tubes of copper from trucks, which he remembered as being awful. He was fired from the job at age 23. He collected unemployment for several years, pretending to look for work while doing sets at local comedy venues before he comedy full-time. Well, I hope you're paying your taxes now, Jim. Oh, the people would take advantage of that. They wouldn't take advantage of the welfare state. Stand up. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, boo-da-boo. Boy, he's all over the place. Books, film, collection of series. Wow. Now he's making number 4 on the New York Times bestseller, number 13. Boy, he turned it around. Would I like to have a beer with him? Absolutely. Out of the 3, I think he's the most interesting. Not that the other guys weren't interesting unto their own, but this guy definitely I'd love to have a beer. Well, he wouldn't have a beer. But that took some balls turning that around, especially at that young age. He busted his ass off working. He didn't come from wealth. He does have a worthless. Well, he didn't go to college. He was there for a month. He dropped out, so that's good. And he has real world work experience. What gets me is he collected unemployment, which I understand when you're younger and stupid, and beyond, for years. Like, okay, so you're a sponge. I guess one could make the argument with all the money he's made, he's more than paid back what he took from the taxpayer. Would I like to have a beer with him? Yeah. Should he run for office? Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I think so. He has enough of a rich background with suffering and pain that regular people have. I absolutely think so. So there we go. All right. Let's go to the super chats. And we're going to be banging out most of the asshole consulting today. And then Cappy's got to go by clock. Isn't that fun? Black cock. You guys getting your black cock today? I'm getting mine. I can't wait to lay down some black cock. Atham for $2. Nice room decoration guy. Fuck you. Dude, you want to come out here and help? You want to start arranging and setting up sound pads and soundboards? I could talk for literally days about contractors and just how dumb they are and unprofessional. But basically, they'll build you the house, they won't finish it, and then you go around through your house, because I've been here now, 2 weeks? And you're finding things that are wrong, and it literally is the adult paradox, and that is, do I hound these people down and put them at gunpoint to get them to do the jobs they're supposed to do? These guys are in their 40s and 50s. These are not, 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. And it's just like, you're dealing with middle school age mentalities, or do I just do the work myself and get it done? It's not like I'm pouring concrete or anything, but like perfect example, like they didn't caulk around the exterior lights. Some of them they did. And you're like, why did you? There's light bulbs in some of the light fixtures. They have 2 or 3 light bulbs. There's only 1 light bulb in there. What the fuck? I mean, really middle school grade, sophomoric corner cutting shit. And, house has like thousands of different parts to it. And I had the idea, like in the shows, you walk in, hey, my house is done. Turn the key. Boom, let's go. And I could start storing and stacking and unpacking. Nope, it's been, like the doors didn't shut right. I had to realign the doors. And we'll have someone take care of it. Yeah, when, And so that's what it's been. I have improved my carpentry skills significantly. Chris is black. Good morning, Cappy. How's your day going? Good. Are you the Chris that's going to come visit? You're in town? Take a look. The Competent Man for $5 generous. Look at that. You take Atham's $2 contribution and Chad's $2 contribution, and it still don't add up to what one contribution. I guess he's more than twice the man you guys are combined. Competent Man for $5 generous. That's going to buy me a coffee. Update on Origins Game Fair and Gen Con. They just banned TSR, run by son of founder TSR, Gen Con D&D for attending because not inclusive enough. What's TSR? Is that the Dungeons and Dragons company? Tactical Studies Rules, 1940. Yeah, okay, yeah, Gary Gygax. Yeah, well, it's been taken over. I don't know why you would go to any of those conventions. Hey, you guys make fun of me. You think I'm just some schmuck with 5 o'clock shadow, or maybe a little bit more. And when I went out several years ago trying to play some D&D, like, yeah, finally got some time. I got everything stable. I'm gonna find some place to play D&D, dust the old dice bag out and go play. And all I ran into was mentally ill people on the spectrums. Everyone's spurging or autisting out. I'm like, this has been taken over by mentally ill people. Maybe not even mentally ill, because we've had, genuinely mentally ill people. Maybe some were there, but just a bunch of worthless, spoiled kids from the burbs whose dads were either not around and certainly did not prepare them for the real world. And they're like, I mean, just talk about single motherhood kid central. I said, man, you cannot play D&D. If you are a mentally healthy, normal person, you cannot play D&D. And now the big festival of the nerds and the geeks it's not the nerds and the geeks no more. we should set up something like, like a conference for non-mentally ill people. Just to like, what's it like being now? Because you're almost like secluded into your own world now. Like, I can't go play D&D in person anymore. I can't do this. I can't do that. And it'd just be like normal people showing up like, hey, how you doing? Oh, fine. I'm normal. Oh, I don't mean a normie conforming. I mean, just like, not like, oh my God, the color of my skin is the most amazing thing ever. Or whoever's genitalia I want to suck this particular day, because it might be different tomorrow. That's the most impressive thing about me. I want to talk about it. It's like, what do you, I'm a podcaster. What do you do? I'm an HVAC guy. Really? Yeah. Got kids? Sure. Oh, that's nice. Got some, oh, look at those little kids. Where's that? Is that Lake Pequot? We just play some poker, have some cigars. The regular people are going bowling. And then this other, Chad Elkins is doing a seminar on taxes. Oh, I got to learn about taxes. Why? Because I'm a normal, fucking healthy individual. Yeah, I remember, you go back 20 years ago, and I only went to one. It wasn't a big one. But it was kind of fun. People were dressing up. Kind of like, but you saw the beginnings of it at the Renaissance festivals. If you guys are like, well, there's something off about these people. That was 20 years ago. Oh, there's something wrong. But I find out these things for you guys years in advance. Say, don't go to D&D. Don't go to a physical game at D&D. Oh, Clarey, it can't be that bad. Ha ha ha. Aaron just old boomer Cappy. Hey, Black Kojak. 2 weeks up. I'm going to explain it again, Black Kojak. Because you're a regular, even though you're cheap, you didn't give me no money. I had back this request is 10 days old. I am that backed up. I'm trying to get through the old ones. So that's why I'm doing this. So, and I have taken 2 weeks off. I went for an 11-mile hike, but I got to get this house up and going. Thankfully, it's more or less done. There's some other things I got to get done before winter, but it's more or less done. Musako band. Did you get kicked off? For 5.49 euros. Cappy, I'm considering leaving Portugal for Uruguay. I'm Brazilian. Did it speak Portuguese in Uruguay? I worry about the Great Reset getting bigger, plus potential nuclear war in the future. Well, I'll tell you this, Musako. Before you do that, go to the library in Portugal. I don't know if they subscribe to these services, but there's got to be. You speak English too, so go and read the Economist Intelligence Unit on Portugal, their latest one. Also, go to the World CIA Fact Book or the CIA World Fact Book. Read about Portugal. I'm sorry, not Portugal, Uruguay. And then maybe even pull up the OECD report, OECD.org, and just get a general idea of what's going on there politically, what their finances look like, and whether you even want to live there. Why Uruguay? If I recall correctly, was it that or Paraguay that had the communist something take over? Paraguay, that's an interesting. You guys are bored tonight? You want to listen to a podcast on the history of Paraguay. That's an interesting history. Small little country, they had a dictator. He declared war on Brazil, Argentina, I think Uruguay, all at the same time. Like, whoa, holy cow. Oh, it's an interesting, yeah. Fred Freeman Sowell, $2. Cappy looks good. Been running and hiking. Yeah, and been getting sleep and good coffee with my Tigger mug that I found. I was unpacking things. I found my Tigger mug, which they'll probably be banned because he was straight and he was having too much fun. They're going to ban Tigger pretty soon. They'll find something wrong Tigger rhymes with. They'll probably ban him on that. Oh, just one letter off. Oh, we can't have that fun, lovable, bouncy tiger. Chris is black. Yeah, I'm heading up there soon, man. All right, cool. We'll meet up. We'll get a cigar or something. I should email you. I'll email you my phone number. You can text me. Take your time this morning. I got work. Happy got work to do. Fred Freeman Sowell, $1 for a super. Thanks, Fred. I don't know what the sticker is. Avmel Decua with $2 generous dollars. Your builders weren't Mexican. Wait, Atham. You can't be kidding. You can't type Mexican now into the chats Google won't let it go through. You have to write Mexican. Please tell me that's not what's happening. That's why they suck. You're damn right. You're damn right. I'll agree with you on that. I mean, at least the Mexicans show up on time, relatively sober. Actually, they show up sober, relatively on time. There's a little work to be done on timeliness, but at least they get the fucking job done. Holy shit. Well, here's another thing. There aren't a lot of Mexicans up here. That's the other thing. There's some, not a lot though. And they're usually working road crews. What handful I've seen. Please tell me it's that you can't write Mexican. Please don't tell me you can't write Mexican in the chat rooms now. The days, when it gets to that level, you all know the day's coming. I'm going to have to like yeet off to another platform, which it's coming, I know. But I'm kind of postponing it, one, because I'm busy. But two, I will welcome the mandatory break where it's like, oh, cool, I can work on some other things. I pulled a Cappy and made 2 dates the same day last week. Good man. Good. You gotta. 50-50-25. One of them is guaranteed to flake on you, man. One of them is guaranteed. And if they both show up at the same time, fight. That's an old Street Fighter. Huh? India. Competent man. For $5 generous dollars again. Notice the competent, very generous man here. Sign of a good quality man. Currently a push blaming CIS or CIS straight men for a lack of diversity in gaming. RPG nerds no one wants to associate with 20 years ago are at fault. Wait, hang on. Currently a push blaming straight men for a lack of diversity in gaming. Nerds no one wants to associate with 20 years ago are at fault. I know they're because I remember playing just generally RPG games back in the day, and it was fun. And okay, were we the nerdy group? Yeah, but there were some normal guys in there too, even a jock or two that would come in. None of like the skateboarder dorks. None of the dredges would show up. But we could all play the game. We were all functional in society. It wasn't like we put our entire value in that. We just like, God, we hate school. Let's do anything but school. What? We could join this. We don't have to go to school. Let's do that. Yeah, I wouldn't. Don't here. How much fun could it possibly be? What? Seriously, think about this. You know, like, oh, they took it over. No, they took over a brand name. You now have essentially a convention of mentally ill people. That's what you have, a convention of losers who live vicariously through an alternate reality. And how fun is that going to be? How fun do you think could possibly be with a bunch of people? It's not even about the game. It's not even about nerd culture. It's not even about RPGs. It's going to be about my feelings. How much you want to bet what the breakout sessions look like? It's going to be dealing with mental illness, dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety disorder. It ain't going to be about, hey, come here and have fun. It's not. I'll tell you what it's like. It happened. It's no different than the ballroom dance scene or whatever, salsa swing, whatever. It gets really hot. All the cool people show up. People are there. And then the nerds and weirdos come in and scare everyone away. If you want to see it, go to any college university. Salsa dance association, swing dance association, ballroom dance association. And it's all about, because you have to have the dynamic of lead and follow, which is traditionally male and female, which introduces what they can't have. And that's what there's two genders, lead, follow. That means like there's a superior infinite. No, it doesn't work that way. They're both equal and mandatory roles. And just look at how politics destroyed that. And like, God bless it. That back in the day, when I did swing dancing, it was like the last bit of, I wouldn't say excellence, but young people trying to look good. Girls would show up in dresses. I have suits. I got some pictures. I found there was a picture of me in the Chicago paper a long time ago. I got my hat on. I got a nice suit. It looked good. Girls look good. You're like, yeah, everybody looks good here. Just boosted it up a little bit. And girls would, have a martini. Things were wonderful. Music was great. Now I got a buddy who still teaches, and you walk in, you're like, oh, wow. Okay, everyone's fat. It does stink because half the people don't know about deodorant. There are hairy armpitted women because they're turning. It's no longer about the dance. It's no longer about the whatever it is you were ostensibly going there for. Okay, that is merely a facade for mentally ill people to go and basically commiserate. That's what it's become, just to commiserate. And if really, there should be like a normie, which I hate using that word because the not mentally ill RPG con. Didn't they have to tell people they had to use deodorant, like you had to shower and bathe at some of these things? Fred Freeman saw, did you see 2004 movie A Day Without a Mexican? Boy, no, I haven't, but it is nice having a day without Atham. It really is. It's like not having a herpes flare up. It really is kind of nice not having Atham around. Hey, by the way, everyone go watch the video. It's so nice to have a wolf around the house. Actually, now that I think about it, the personality of Cuthbert Q. Devine, I talked about this a couple things. Everyone, after you're done here, after my rest of my podcast that you all religiously tune into, everyone go watch It's So Nice to Have a Wolf Around the House. That is Atham's personality, Cuthbert Q. Devine. It just dawned on me. It really is. It really is. Here we go. Hey, he found his pockets, everybody. Atham for $5. I'll move to South Dakota. I think I could find a fat chick to marry there. Yeah. There's a lot of people think like South Dakota is like this panacea of niceness and greatness. No. It's Houdane Digley. It's trailer park community, trailer park culture largely. There's not a lot of good looking gals here. I just came here because I love the hiking and the motorcycle riding, and just the fossils and the geology. Oh, look at my Instagram. I took some beautiful pictures on a hike today. Yesterday. It was very nice. But yeah, you're not coming here for the socializing. It's not a hot, rich nightclub scene in Rapid City. It still kind of closes up. Like I had to like change my tactics because I live so far south of town. It takes a good 20 minutes to get to Rapid City, where there's food and late night restaurants, but there are not that many late night restaurants. A lot of places aren't even open on Monday or Tuesday. So there's not a lot of socializing or late night. So I got to go buy groceries now. It's a tragedy that I, king of the bachelors, has to buy groceries and make my own food. What the hell is going on? What about Chem E jobs? There's several concrete plants. I don't know how much they pull in chemical engineers. Maybe the water department. I don't know about chemical engineers. It's not like a chemical plant. Bayer doesn't have a facility set up out here. Or BASF. That's, I don't know. Look. See Musako ban, 5.5 euros again. I'm a digital nomad and have been to Uruguay. Plus, I speak Spanish too. I fear the loss of liberty and corporations taking over world politics as we speak. Yeah, you may have to go to a different. Well, as long as you speak it, but do your research on Uruguay. I'm not against it. I mean, it's if time and money permitted, I would love to pull a Roosh, just go down and ride down to Tierra del Fuego. It's in my hemisphere. I'm sure people in Europe, well, technically you could drive to South Africa, can't you? You gotta go through some questionable places. There's just no time and not really the money. And unfortunately, the infrastructure is not that reliable. Yeah, go to Uruguay, do your research. Fred Freeman saw $5. The hang up opens back up this week. First time since March 2020. Lots of dancing and drinking, and sometimes I go home with a random gal. You've been hang up? No, I haven't. Is that over in Chicago somewhere? I was in Chicago over 20 years ago, so I don't remember the hang up. Oh, Alex Patino, $5. Truck driving agent in the field. Single moms raising defective girls and boys' bodies that society expects men to grow from my shake expects men to grow from my shaking my head. Yeah, just let them. I got some hate mail. Oh my God, I got a great hate mail. I'll read it later. But man, you want to talk about what happens when you don't have a dad in the house. If you don't have a wolf in the house, you don't have a dad in the house, you don't have a Mexican in the house. Man, do people get they are mentally ill. And I'm kind of laughing because this she wants me dead. Like, it's pretty much a death threat that I got. And I'm like, what in God's name did I do that, that you are so pissed off that you want me dead? Brian Dupree. Oh, look at where he's hiking. Where is that? That looks Nevada. Mojave Desert. Love Patrice on Opie and Anthony. He was my lightning bolt to leave my one-sided marriage. Thanks for your takes on things, Cappy. Yeah, no problem, Brad. Where are you hiking? You're hiking somewhere there. There's not enough greenery for that to be. Yeah, I'm going to say that's Nevada or California. And that's it. I think that's it. That's it. All right, there we go. More on the way. And maybe we'll even get a podcast in this week. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.